Let's go to another breaking medical news story that I find truly fascinating.
Did you know that a baby's cry is correlated with brain development? Scientists at Brown University think it's possible that infants' cries may provide a clue to whether they are at risk of developing autism. In a small study, researchers compared cries of babies considered at risk of autism to a low-risk group. The findings? At-risk babies had higher-pitched cries. What's more, the babies with the highest-pitched cries went on to receive an autism diagnosis. And the earlier you can diagnose autism, the better your child's chances are of having successful treatment. Which gives us all a reason to cry, hooray!
This is really cool. We've known, as a pediatrician, we've seen, babies with any sort of neurological problem often have a little different cry, and we kind of use that as a clue. But this was a super sensitive computer machine, whatever you want to call it, that analyzed these cries, 80 different parameters, and a lot of them weren't not even perceptible to the human ear in terms of the differences. And it was interesting that they found, and they kind of looked back. They picked out 40 kids. Half of them were high risk for autism because they had a sibling with autism.
Okay.
And then and they analyzed their cries, and they did notice a difference in those 21 babies that were at risk. But then a few years later, when 3 of those babies were actually diagnosed with autism, they went back and looked at those 3 babies' cries and to see if they could see a difference, and they could see a difference.
So tell me, is this going to be something that's available in your doctor's office, or is this just one of those?
I think eventually we'll use this because especially autism, early screening, early detection is vital because the sooner you start treatment, aggressive therapy, you can almost rewire the brain if you start them early enough and reverse some of those symptoms. And right now we're diagnosing the kids at 18 months, 2, 3 years of age, which is, is fairly late. If we, they did this at 6 months. So if we could see that, that'd be great.
And let's caution parents, this is a computerized analysis of cries. This isn't something you want to be stressed out at home. Oh my gosh, my baby has a high-pitched cry right now. This is something that is using technology to advance diagnosis.
But could you take the concept of my baby has this higher pitched cry than all the other babies, and I have a couple other reasons why I'm thinking that they might be?
Yes, certainly. If you're worried like that, that could be part of the clue. But, the difference in these babies' cries, you couldn't tell with the human ear. Okay. So, the other signs to look for, obviously, if your baby just doesn't make eye contact with you, that's one of the big ones. The other signs to look for, your baby isn't sharing a smile. If you smile to your baby, they should smile back. And then the next one is, we call it back and forth gestures. Sharing, waving, pointing, showing you something, if they show you a block. If they're not doing that by 12 months, those are kind of some of the signs that your child might have autism.
So basically a disengaged child.
Exactly.
Yeah.